This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, Otago students help clean up the streets of North Dunedin in memory of Sophia Cristani. Agricultural Minister Damien O'Connor visits drought-stricken Southland, but the purse strings are closed. And the Central Otago wine harvest is in full swing, with all hands on deck to help out. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Phil Vaughan. The Otago University Students Association held its annual street clean-up today in memory of student Sophia Cristani, who died during a student party 3 years ago. But with the charred remains of couches among the trash being hauled away, it appears lessons are still to be learnt by those in the student quarter.
Student couch fires are still very much a part of North Dunedin. Friday's student clean-up, held in memory of student Sophia Cristani, who died during a flat party in 2019, saw a large group, including students and other members of the community, tidying up areas close to campus. Deputy Vice-Chancellor Helen Nicholson says Otago University is trying to encourage better student behaviour, but old habits are hard to change.
I don't know that it's obviously different, and I mean that's something that we're trying to think creatively as to how we can make a difference and can we improve the design of the street so that students and others feel that they need to keep it clean and tidy.
Sophia Cristani's mother, Elspeth McMillan, was upset with student behaviour at this year's St Patrick's Day events and spoke out at the time. Dunedin's Mayor Aaron Hawkins was among those pitching in on Friday. He believes students get a bit of bad press, but says events like this can help.
Certainly there have been people that Campus Watch have recognised that are here as active participants, and so I think again that shows that it's not quite as cut and dry as it may appear.
Members of Dunedin Police also assisted student volunteers in doing their part to clean up the area.
I think a lot of the residents that are on Castle and Leith came because it's a pretty good initiative for what we live in, so to clean it up is pretty good.
People will walk down here and just, it kind of looks like a tip most of the time, so it's kind of good that everyone's getting involved and everyone's doing their bit to help out.
The university, police and city council have been talking with the owners of nearby alcohol retailers, with the aim of taking glass bottles out of the equation and off the streets of North Dunedin. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Latest figures reveal Dunedin experienced the country's sharpest drop in house values for the first 3 months of this year. Residential property values eased by more than 3% between January and March. The QV House Price Index shows the average home in Dunedin City is now worth just over $700,000. That's a far cry from the 5.3% rate of quarterly growth recorded at the end of 2021. However, houses in Dunedin are still nearly 10% more expensive than at the same time last year. Some parts of drought-stricken Southland were visited yesterday by Minister of Agriculture Damien O'Connor. The Minister, who's a farmer himself, got a first-hand look at the region's dry paddocks. Damien O'Connor says his government is looking to help with logistics. That could include increasing kill rates in southern freezing works, which are currently working below capacity due to workers off sick with COVID-19. But he says a financial bailout for struggling farmers isn't on the table.
There's been no request for any monetary support, maybe working through a bit more coordination with the Rural Support Trust. That's one of the messages we got, but it's not big dollops of money for farmers per se. They don't expect that. What they want is some understanding, and then whether some coordination can occur, whether it be through feed budgeting or be it through getting a few more workers into the freezing works, that's where we'll play our part.
Water shortages in Southland mean irrigation bans will remain in place for most of the region until next Monday. The Otago Rally has got underway in the Octagon with its traditional launch event in the city centre. More than 100 competitors for the weekend rally lined up in the Octagon for the ceremonial start. The Otago Rally is the first race on the New Zealand rally calendar. The lineup includes double Olympian Hamish Bond, drifting champion Dan Woolhouse and a teenager racing alongside his grandfather. The traditional super stage throughout the city can't be held on Sunday due to COVID restrictions, but rally organisers say there's plenty of other locations for the people to see the action.
Of course, we're really disappointed that the special stage can't happen, but the COVID rules just didn't change in time for us to make necessary changes. But the rally map and all the details of the event are on the rally website, otagarally.com, and Otago Rally Facebook is going to be full of news during the event. Oh, look, it means everything, especially at the moment where we haven't had events for such a long time. To have things happening in town and the town filling up, 6,500 bed nights we estimate come into the city for this event. So it fills up the restaurants, fills up the accommodation and just brings a buzz back into the city, which we've been missing for so long.
The event will see a series of stages raced around Otago this weekend, starting at 6:30 a.m. tomorrow morning from the Edgar Centre. This year's wine harvest is in full swing, with pickers and machines gathering the grapes as they ripen. And growers look likely to harvest all of their fruit, despite concerns expressed earlier regarding a labour shortage.
This year's Central Otago wine harvest is set to be a success. There had been concern about potential labour shortages this season due to closed borders. However, most vineyards have now been able to find enough workers. In some cases, that's meant vineyard owners calling in favours from friends and family to lend a hand for what's proving to be a bumper crop. Aside from the human pickers, Mount Dunstan Estates has this labour-saving machine harvester. Vineyard crew member Howard Marshall says it can pick the same as about 50 workers would achieve by hand.
2 people, got the harvester driver and a gondola driver, and you can pick 45 tonne a day with 2 people.
The picker works by shaking the vines, but isn't very selective with the quality of grapes it harvests.
If you're wanting to produce a top quality wine, then you need, it's better to hand pick.
One person who'd agree is Grasshopper Rock's manager Phil Hanford. He's helping his pickers get the very best out of their Pinot Noir grapes, as they've done every season for the last 16 years.
Hand picking, we can get the clean fruit we want. Like this year's particularly clean. You could probably machine harvest this year, but it's getting that year on year, that consistent results. And this vineyard's set up for hand harvesting.
And while the drought and low lake levels have been of concern to some in the region, the dry spell is proving a boon for the wine harvest.
I think everyone's pretty happy with this year. There's good yields because there was good flowering, and certainly the last 30 days with no rain, Melbourne will be very envious. Has been a big factor in lovely clean fruit and no disease.
Central Otago's microclimates have meant some grapes are not yet ready to pick, with those growers watching the weather closely with frosts forecast for this week. In Central Otago, the South Today.
The whaaki nei still to come on the South Today. Closed signs at some of Dunedin's playgrounds, but improved playtime is around the corner. And a new name for a walking Mexican water dweller in Gore.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi there, guess who? Do you recognise the eyes? Oh, okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Campbell's Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for the great summer.
Campbell's Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cut says, keep calm and carry on.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hear ye, hear ye. My mate John's declared himself the king of Stafford Street. His first order of business, banish high prices. Get down to the kingdom of John this weekend. There's 30% off bookcases and buffets, 33% off selected lounge, 15% off sofa beds and chaises, and 50% off outdoor furniture.
Where did you get that furniture from? Stafford Street. And my mate John.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
Spark your joy with jazz, the next generation from Honda.
Hi, we're H Concern Otago.
H Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including interwalks.
A celebrity has just arrived. His name is Sirocco, and he's an important member of the government. The ambassador is chauffeur-driven. It's a 60-minute drive to his 5-star high-security accommodation, where he can finally drop his guard. Meet His Excellency. Not human, but parrot.
Welcome back. Dunedin families, disappointed to find several playgrounds around the city have been fenced off, can look forward to better times on the other side. 3 playgrounds have been closed while the City Council begins a $650,000 upgrade program.
3 of Dunedin's children's playgrounds are set to be upgraded over the next 3 months. The playground at Bathgate Park in South Dunedin is getting $385,000 for a revamp that will include a fort, log scramble, talking tubes, basketball half-court and a carousel that can accommodate children in wheelchairs. In Caversham, the College Street playground is having $135,000 spent on its upgrade to feature a log scramble, revamped fort and community orchard. Meanwhile, in Karatane, the playground there is getting upgraded to the tune of $125,000 with an adventure course. The 3 playgrounds will be closed for at least 3 months while the work is carried out. However, delays with importing the necessary playground equipment could push out the completion date. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Christchurch's last anchor project got underway today as Minister Megan Woods led a groundbreaking party for Canterbury's newest multi-use arena.
Turning the soil on the side of the Canterbury multi-use arena to mark the start of its construction. Te Kaha's Christchurch's new $500 million Central City Stadium and will include a covered roof and have a seating capacity of 30,000 people for sporting events, with another 7,000 for concerts. Minister Megan Woods says it's a culmination of a very long journey.
There have been some frustrations getting here, but I think today we can celebrate the fact that we are here. I know there are many in this crowd that had to convince me, the newly minted minister, that this complex did indeed need a roof, but I was convinced.
The next 3 months will see plans finalised for building the $533 million stadium, assessing the availability of materials and workers. The project was marred by controversy earlier this year when the City Council initially slashed the seating capacity to 25,000 after major budget blowouts. The final design for the stadium is due at the end of June, with work scheduled to be completed by mid-2025. In Christchurch, the South Today.
A mysterious creature, which recently moved into a large fish tank at the Gore Aquatic Centre, has been given a name by a local child. The oxalotl, known as a Mexican walking fish, has been named after a dragon from a children's animation film.
A new name for an unusual character. This white oxalotl named Maxine has been living in a tank at the Gore Aquatic Centre for several years. Also called a Mexican walking fish, she's now been joined with a new friend, a black oxalotl. A competition was held to choose a name for the new arrival, and 6-year-old Cooper Bonish won with his suggestion of Toothless, after a character in the animated film called How to Train Your Dragon.
3 years ago, Maxine was with Matara School and the white oxalotl and was given to us. And there was a rescue oxalotl, which was our black one. So now we have 2 lovely female oxalotls that anyone can come and see at the Gore Multisport Complex.
Oxalotls are a species of salamander native to Mexico and resemble miniature prehistoric monsters. They're unusual among amphibians in that they reach adulthood without undergoing metamorphosis, such as tadpole to frog. They also have a remarkable ability to regenerate.
They can grow any part of their limb back, which is pretty amazing. They have their gills up top, but you can also take them out of the water and the gills close down and they can breathe on land as well by gulping.
The pair were originally housed at the aquatic centre to entertain children, but adults find them equally fascinating.
Well, what a better place to be than here, where lots of people get to see and learn a bit about them.
Oxalotls occur naturally in lakes around Mexico City. There's fewer than 1,000 left in the wild, with the amphibians listed as critically endangered due to water pollution from increased urbanisation. In Gore, the South Today.
Queenstown conservation groups have just finished installing what's believed to be the highest trapping line in the country. The extension through the forested Y group is aimed at protecting the area's biodiversity and native wildlife.
Trapping pests up high. This trapping line installed at Y Creek near Queenstown is in the running to be the highest trapping line in New Zealand. Local conservation groups have worked with DOC to extend the trapping line by 7 kilometres. The aim is to trap pests in the local area and protect native wildlife. Bonnie Wilkins works for Southern Lakes Sanctuary, which is trying to protect the biodiversity in the Southern Lakes region. Wilkins says the trap line here has already had a hugely positive impact on the area's wildlife.
So this trap line has been in for quite a while now, and we've already seen such an increase in the biodiversity up here and the bird life, which is really exciting. Some species coming back that we haven't seen up here before, so yeah, it's going really well.
The conservation effort is run by volunteers who are keen to get out and set traps, helping local bird life to flourish. The Queenstown Climbing Club began constructing wooden traps last year, with the help of Arrowtown Men's Shed, producing enough traps to begin installation last October.
So the Queenstown Climbing Club pretty much does all of the work up here now. So most of the trap lines in the area are all run by volunteers. So yeah, just sort of started with a couple of passionate people that were keen to get rid of the pests and have the bird life come back into the area.
The volunteers believe the work will mean a brighter future for Y Creek, with fewer pests and more room for wildlife to flourish. In Queenstown, the South Today.
The works of William Shakespeare have been performed for hundreds of years around the globe. This week, the works of the bard were given an ingenious twist at a local performance as part of an annual school's Shakespeare Festival.
Performing Shakespeare with an indigenous twist, Tane with Taiaha challenge each other in a scene from Macbeth, while a Pacific Island drum beats time behind them. Kavanagh College pupils Troy Kubala as Macduff and Ted Kerr-Bell as Macbeth face off on stage.
It was Macbeth 5-minute scene, Act 5, Scene 8, and I kill Macbeth in the very end of the scene.
Sheila Wynne, Shakespeare Festival coordinator Debbie Verco, says there are many aspects of the bard's work which are timeless.
Look, it's the power of the language, it's the ideas, the themes, the intellect, and as you would have seen in the Kavanagh pieces, completely open to interpretation. You know, you can bring it into modern times.
10 schools entered the festival, held at the King's and Queen's High School auditorium, but one had to withdraw. Verco says, like so many other events, this year's festival was affected by COVID-19.
most have had to go digital. We've held out for the live event, but we've modified it. So normally you would see the auditorium full of schools. For today's festival, we are running it in 3 sessions, so 3 schools per session.
Organisers say about 20 scenes were performed across the day-long event. And Verco says young people still love Shakespeare, and the themes of his work are relevant to everything in today's world. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Yeah, whaaki nag. Still to come on the South Today. April Fool's Day pranks continue well after the traditional deadline, and Alexandra school students stage their own sporty relay for life.
Drop when you every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Hear ye, hear ye. My mate John's declared himself the king of Stafford Streets. His first order of business, banish high prices.
And my mate John.
Livingwell Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Welcome back. A couple of this month's April Fool's Day jokes have jumped the shark, with the light-hearted stories actually getting some traction. Enterprise Dunedin's effort was promoting a new attraction at Larnac Castle, a hot tub on the tower. This morning, that April Fool's Day joke became a reality, with a crew from the Breeze Breakfast radio show broadcasting live from a portable spa at the castle's top tower. Co-host Damien Newell had himself been fooled by the original prank, prompting the station to rally local business, rent a spa, and an experienced lifeguard to help them achieve it. This year's April Fool's Day pranks are also included a proposal for the DCC to spend $25 million converting heritage railway carriages into trams for the city centre. Councillor Jules Radich was among the local residents who responded, saying the idea actually had some merit. The sun was out for the pupils at Dunstan High School this week as they competed in a special outdoor relay. The event was a fundraiser for the Cancer Society, with the regular full Relay for Life festivals unable to be held due to COVID-19 considerations.
Showing their competitive spirit, the entire population of Dunstan High School threw their all into a special outdoor event this week, dubbed Relay Your Way. The school's one of a number of groups organising mini fundraising events to take place of the Cancer Society's traditional community fundraiser.
Normally it would be Relay for Life, but since COVID's happened, we've got to adjust it a little bit.
Pupils competed in a range of relay activities, including an inflatable obstacle course and frisbee golf, through to dodgeball and an egg and spoon race. The school was happy that all the money raised would be going to a good cause.
We as a service committee thought it was really important to raise money for the Cancer Society. Thought this was a great way to do it.
The organisers had been planning the event since the start of term and are very pleased with the number of pupils taking part.
Today's going really good. We're very happy with the amount of people that have gotten involved. We're raising lots of money and we've got to give a little page set up, so we're very happy with the outcome.
Dunstan High School's Relay Your Way raised more than $1,000 for the Cancer Society, with their Give a Little page set to stay open until the end of the month. In Alexandra, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Students, police and politicians have been cleaning up North Dunedin campus streets in memory of former student Sophia Cristani. Agricultural Minister Damien O'Connor has visited drought-stricken Southland but is ruling out further financial aid for the region's farmers. And the Dunedin Central Otago wine harvest is in full swing, following a bumper crop with friends and families helping get the grapes off the vines. And now a look at what's happening in the weekend's weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
A fine and sunny weekend lies ahead for the southern region as cool southwesterlies airflow dies out. Heading to the top of the South Island, Nelson has a few clouds and 18. Greymouth, occasionally cloudy skies and 19. Also cloudy in Christchurch, and you can expect 17. To our southern towns now. The Catlins will have cloudy skies, with Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore all set for blue sky. Everyone's heading for around 14 degrees tomorrow. Apologies for the graphics there. Travelling westward into the Central Lakes area, Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra can all expect fine weather with light winds and a high of 18 degrees. In Tiano, moderate southwesterlies, clear skies and a high of 14 degrees. Looking at the northern towns, Timaru can expect light southwesterlies and blue skies. 16 degrees and 15 in Oamaru. It'll be a stunning autumn day inland with light winds, clear skies and 19 for Twizel and Marama. In Dunedin, it'll be fine tonight with an overnight low of 7 degrees. Fine with sunny periods and scattered cloud tomorrow, moderate southwest winds and cold. Tomorrow night, a high of 15 and a low of 5 degrees. And on Sunday, mostly fine. Sunny with sou'westerlies dying out. Northeast winds developing later, a high of 16 and a low of 7 degrees. And in Invercargill, mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 7 degrees. Fine tomorrow with sunny periods and some cloud. Cold tomorrow night, a high of 14 and a low of 4 degrees. Fine and sunny on Sunday with light winds, a high of 16 and a low of 6 degrees. And that's the news for this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the Southern region, head online to odt.co.nz, and you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira, kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.